Harry Styles has spent most of his career mastering the art of privacy. Despite being one of the most recognizable pop stars in the world, he has consistently drawn firm boundaries between his public persona and his personal life. That's why even the smallest personal revelation from him tends to carry more weight than a typical celebrity confession. Recently, Styles made one of those rare moves, speaking openly, though still carefully, about his relationship with Zoe Kravitz, his evolving outlook on life, and the importance of embracing positivity amid constant scrutiny. Rather than offering tabloid-ready soundbites or dramatic declarations, Styles approached the topic in a way that felt deeply consistent with who he has become in recent years. Calm, reflective, and emotionally grounded, he framed his thoughts not as gossip-worthy revelations but as part of a broader philosophy about growth, relationships, and self-awareness. A relationship kept quiet on purpose. Styles and Kravitz have managed something that feels almost impossible in modern celebrity culture: maintaining a relationship that exists largely outside the noise of social media and paparazzi frenzy. While their romance has been widely speculated about and occasionally photographed, both have avoided feeding the public appetite for constant updates. When Styles did finally address the relationship indirectly, he did so without naming specifics, instead focusing on what the connection represents to him emotionally. He spoke about being in a place where he prioritizes positive things, surrounding himself with people who contribute to his well-being rather than drain it. Though subtle, the implication was clear. His relationship with Kravitz fits squarely into that category. Rather than defining love through grand gestures or public displays, Styles framed it as something quieter but more meaningful, a source of balance in an otherwise chaotic life. Embracing positivity in a loud world. For someone who rose to fame as a teenager and has spent over a decade under relentless public attention, Styles' emphasis on positivity feels hard-earned rather than performative. He acknowledged, in his own measured way, that fame can distort priorities and make it easy to lose sight of what actually matters. His comments reflected a broader shift that fans and observers have noticed over the years. Early in his career, Styles seemed almost overwhelmed by the speed at which his life changed. Today he appears more grounded, selective, and intentional. He spoke about choosing joy carefully, protecting his energy, and learning when to disengage from negativity, even when it's loud, persistent, and profitable for others to amplify. This mindset also explains why he's so cautious about oversharing. For Styles, privacy isn't about secrecy, it's about self-preservation. Zoe Kravitz, an equal, not an accessory. Part of what makes the Styles-Kravitz pairing so compelling to the public is the sense that neither person is eclipsed by the other. Kravitz is not simply Harry Styles' girlfriend. She is an established actor, director, and creative force with her own legacy and voice. Styles' comments subtly acknowledged that dynamic. Rather than positioning himself as the center of the narrative, he spoke in terms of mutual respect, shared values, and creative understanding. The relationship, as he described it, is built on equality rather than imbalance, a refreshing contrast to the power-skewed romances often seen in celebrity culture. Their connection also seems rooted in shared artistic sensibilities. Both come from backgrounds steeped in music, film, and fashion, and both navigate fame with a mix of openness and restraint. That shared language likely plays a role in how effortlessly they appear to coexist without oversharing. The significance of Lenny Kravitz's approval. One detail that quietly resonated with fans was the mention of Lenny Kravitz's apparent approval of Styles. For many, this wasn't just a celebrity footnote, it was symbolic. Lenny Kravitz isn't just Zoe's father. He's a cultural icon known for his authenticity, artistic integrity, and refusal to conform. His approval carries weight not because of fame, but because of what he represents. For Styles, being accepted by someone like Lenny suggests more than surface-level charm. It implies respect, character, and alignment in values. Styles didn't frame this approval as something he sought or needed validation from, but the fact that it exists reinforces the idea that his relationship with Zoe is grounded in sincerity rather than spectacle. A mature evolution fans have noticed. Longtime fans have been quick to point out how different this chapter of Styles' life feels compared to earlier years. Where once interviews were filled with playful deflection and nervous humor, there is now a calm confidence in how he speaks about love and life. This evolution mirrors the themes in his recent creative work, which often explores vulnerability, emotional honesty, and the complexity of adult relationships. Rather than glamorizing chaos or heartbreak, Styles seems increasingly interested in stability, peace, and emotional clarity. His comments about choosing positivity aren't naive optimism. They sound more like the conclusions of someone who has lived through excess, burnout and public misunderstanding, and decided to step off the treadmill. Fame without ownership. Perhaps the most striking aspect of Styles' remarks is what they don't do. He doesn't claim ownership over the narrative. He doesn't try to control public perception or demand understanding. Instead, he quietly asserts his right to live fully without explaining every choice. In an era where celebrities are often expected to monetize their personal lives, Styles' restraint feels almost rebellious. By sharing just enough to convey authenticity, without surrendering privacy, he maintains a sense of autonomy that many public figures struggle to preserve.